Hi friends, and welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Sudeep from UAE, a radiologist practicing here, and this video is about questions that somebody should ask himself or herself before they start radiology as a career, or they want to take up radiology as a career. So there are no pros or cons, because a pro for somebody can be a con for somebody, but there are some questions that definitely you can sort of ask yourself, and based on the answers which you get, maybe that might make your decision a little easier to choose or to leave radiology as a career option. So the first thing is that you need to know about all specialties of medicine and surgery. So if you are somebody who loves to read and loves to cover the head to foot from pediatric to geriatrics, everything, then radiology is the right specialty for you. If you like being a detective and trying to search for a needle in a haystack where there are like 2000, 3000 images of a CT scan, and then you're trying to find out where is the pathology, where is the abnormality, trying to look at the clinical history which is there at the presentation, looking at the images and then tying up the clinical history with the findings, and then coming up with a diagnosis or a probable list of differential diagnosis, so that the patient's management is affected in the best possible way. Also trying to be a safe radiologist, not missing critical findings, so that the patient doesn't go home where he has to go into the operation theater. So these are the things, if you like to do on a daily basis at 2 o'clock in the night, or say 9 o'clock in the morning, even if somebody awakes you, if you are dead asleep and they wake you up, you should still be able to spot an abnormality and be a safe radiologist. So if this something sounds up your street, and if you like doing these things, then radiology is the branch for you. So obviously this is going to entail a lot of reading, and that's point number 2. If you like to read a lot, and if you like to read about different specialties of medicine and surgery, pathology, pathophysiology, this is the branch which you can do, because there will be so much of reading, there will be so many books. Each system or each specialty will have at least 10 to 15 proper textbooks and reference books which you can read through. In your daily practice, you will not have any shortage of material available online which you can refer to while you are reporting. So you will have lots of free resources, say from Radiopedia, or you can have something like StatDX, where you just put in the keywords and you probably get a list of differential diagnosis or something. So if you like to read and if you like to explore the pathology of the human body, then radiology is definitely at the crossroads of physiology, pathology, medicine, surgery and technology all put together in one. If you are a visual learner, if you like to visualize things in your head and then learn them, then nothing better than radiology, because every pathology or every disease will have a picture with it in a textbook or in real life. And with that textbook or that particular image, you will have a short description. So you just remember the image in your eyes, and you store it in your brain, and you just read a little bit of theory, and you can just pull the two together. So if you're a visual learner, it really helps. Point number 4 is radiology, as you know, is a technical or a technology based thing. So if you are a tech savvy person, if you like machines, or if you like to work with machines, then nothing better than radiology. We will have cutting edge instruments and technological accesses and software which is available to us. They could range from like 4 megapixel, 5 megapixel imaging monitors. You could have the best of the best voice dictation softwares. You could have the top end CT scan and MRI machines if you're working in a tertiary level hospital. And the radiology technical field or the imaging field is developing at such a rapid pace. As you know, the advent of the artificial intelligence in radiology in the past 10 or 15 years has grown by leaps and bounds. So now you have the artificial intelligence software which is detecting normal x-rays or even areas of consolidation on a chest x-ray, and even in cross-section CT and MRIs. Of course, the human intervention is required to sign off something as abnormal, because you cannot completely rely on artificial intelligence to solve the problems of a human being, because there are a lot of ethical issues involved. There are a lot of issues which are present where who will be held liable, like the medical legal liability in case an artificial intelligence is going to make the diagnosis for you. But definitely human interaction is very, very important, and as we grow further, this is going to increase. So if you are excited about artificial intelligence and if you are excited about technology along with artificial intelligence, then radiology is the best place to be in the next 15 to 20 years. The other question might somebody ask is, if you are like an introvert person or you like to work in a group. So if you are like an introvert person and you just like to be with yourself, just do your own work and go, then nothing better than radiology, because there will be no patient interaction, there will be no patient ownership unless you are doing interventional radiology. Now that can be a pro for somebody, that can be a con for somebody, so each one decides for himself. But if you just like to be in a room all by yourself, just finish your cases, read off all your cases and just go home, have a good work-life balance without any sort of paperwork or sort of stress involved, then maybe radiology is the right branch for you. But if you like patient ownership, or if you like to interact with colleagues or be with patients, then maybe you can think of interventional radiology, or maybe some other branches of medicine or surgery. They might be the best suit for your personality, because you would not be interacting with patients as much. You would be definitely interacting with clinicians in radiology, because you would have the various meetings with different colleagues. They might come into your room and discuss a case with you, so you will get follow-ups and feedbacks from patients, and even from the clinicians. You can look at the EMR or the patient history portal, and then you will get all the information about the follow-ups of a particular case. There might be tumor boards, there might be multidisciplinary team meets for which radiology is a critical component. Now just think about this, like every patient who goes to a hospital or a clinic does get some sort of an imaging done, so you would always be busy. You would get patients from every single branch of medicine and surgery coming to you. So if you specialize in radiology, you could just read neuro cases, or just cardiac cases, or just musculoskeletal cases. But if you want to just be a general radiologist or general diagnostic radiologist, you can pretty much read anything and everything which you want to read. So that's great as well. Again, having a relaxed lifestyle or a laid back attitude, not much of paperwork involved, no insurance hassles and all those things, just sign off your report and go home. So this sort of peace of mind, work-life balance is possible in radiology for sure. You can always work in a busy setup in a tertiary care hospital, do on-calls if you want to. If you don't want to do on-calls, that's fine as well. Radiation issues are definitely there, but if you're doing interventional radiology, or if you're doing CT guided procedures, then there is a certain amount of radiation that you will be exposed to. But if you're doing ultrasound, if you're doing MRI, or even if you're doing diagnostic radiology where you are not getting exposed to a CT scanner, or if you're doing teleradiology, that's a area where you will not get exposed to radiation at all. So teleradiology is again a fantastic opportunity. If you can get your post graduation, if you get some fellowships, get some experience in some good hospitals, and just do teleradiology. People have done that for the rest of their life. So if you can just do teleradiology, you can be anywhere you want, and you can still earn a good amount of money, keeping your freedom of time with you. You are not tied up to any geographic location. You just need a laptop and an internet connection and a good software and a hardware which you can invest one time, and then you're good to go. So that works for many people. Again, if you are a person who can work in a teleradiology setup, you may. Some people like to go into a hospital and work, like to have that some interaction with a clinical colleague or something. So each one has its own sort of benefits and disadvantages, but it is best that you decide it for yourself. If somebody else is doing it, it may not work for you, but if somebody is not doing it, that might still work for you. So you have to make your own choice. So the best thing, again, I would say in radiology is ability to upskill yourself while you are working in a job. Say for example, you are doing your post-graduation and you start doing a job after you finish your post-graduation. So you can still do something like an FRCR, and you can still upskill your knowledge without even leaving your job for a single day. You may take some breaks before the exam, but you don't have to leave your job. And once you get an FRCR, automatically the door for UK opens up for you. You can go and do fellowships there or jobs there. So there are many avenues for growth while you are doing radiology. There are many conferences, there are many online websites which are now come up, which will give you certifications for upskilling into a particular field of radiology, or even subspecialization by doing certain certificate courses. So those are available as well. Many of them are free, some of them or many of them will be paid as well. So again, if you have the wherewithal, you can definitely upskill your knowledge and grow. Reading never stops. In radiology, reading will never stop. There will always be a case that you've never seen, and you will have to read up about it, and that is just going to grow into your database, and you'll remember it sooner or later in your life. So in the end, I would say it's a personal decision. You have to make your own decision, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what kind of personality do you have, whether you are ready to spend certain amount of money to get a seat in radiology, or if it is available for you through a free seat, sort of in a entrance exam or something, because it is the most competitive field. Radiology is very, very expensive to do on a private setup. But again, discuss with yourself first, because you are going to make the decision. Do not use or do not speak to others to make the decision for yourself, because you have to practice it for the next 30-40 years of your life. So if you are going to go into radiology, you have to make up your mind. If you have certain doubts, then you can ask colleagues and you can ask seniors and maybe clarify your doubts, but you cannot ask somebody that should I do radiology, because they will give you their answer that may or may not work for you, and you don't want to be stuck doing radiology once you realize that this is not what you like it. Maybe you can do an observership in a hospital or in a private setup for a month or two and just see if you like the daily workings. If you like the daily working, then maybe that is something for you and you can take that up as a career. So these are some bits of information from my side. I wouldn't want to guide anybody whether to do it or not to do it, because it's a very individual decision. But definitely, if you have any questions, do let me know, and all the best in your radiology journey. If you have decided to take up radiology, it's a fantastic and exciting branch to be in. I just love it to do it every single day of my life. So I wish you all the best. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye bye.